Capricorn, thank you for tuning in to Perfectly Imperfect Tarot. This is Green Eyes here with your reading. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Martians, astronauts. Pick a node. It does not matter to me. I love you all. Cross watchers, I am a snitch. I'm telling you now. Please don't curse me in the comments. Love you too. Caps, this is a judgment-free zone, but you will hear the truth. No gender or age, only energy. You're going to hear me use terms he, she, her, him, they, them, it, heifer. Pay it no mind. Feel the energy. Remember, roles can always be reversed. Caps, I thank you. Like, share, subscribes, emails, comments, love tokens, donations. Thank you. Thank you. And I thank you again. All right, my loves. Let's talk about your energy. Coming into your energy initially, I felt like infidelity, you know. I thought at first it was like relationships, and I'm like, it just didn't fit right with the wholeness of the energy, so I kind of sat with it for a second. And it more so, it kind of developed into, I guess, what we would define as cheating. You know, if you're a bit more religious, it would be how you define sin, you know. Some people feel like there are different levels, you know what I'm saying? In terms of energy, it's simply frequency, you know. My mother used to say, there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing. And I just thought that was bonkers. I mean, absolutely bonkers. Until I got older and then redefined that statement. And then I got more mature and grew in my belief system. And then it again took on a whole new meaning to a point that where I'm at now I get it, you know. I wish she would have elaborated back then, but I wouldn't have been able to handle it. And that's kind of where I am in your energy. There's nothing new under the sun. And I feel like in your energy, you're trying to grasp or define or recompartmentalize maybe your beliefs or your situation. So we've all been in sticky situations in life. I'm going to keep it simple. Let's take a diet, for instance, right? If you've ever tried a diet or cheated on your diet, you cheated on your diet. You know, it's the next day, I think that's most important. When you cheat on your diet, let's say Monday, Tuesday, then what's the plan? You know, do we kick the diet to the curb or do we just get back on the wagon? Is it the wagon? Whatever, however the saying goes, back on the diet, right? That's how I feel. I feel like you're between Monday and Tuesday. You know, there's an infidelity issue, a cheating energy in here, but it's being redefined also, okay? So let's see what's going on. We're going to pull from the angels and ancestors. I love this space in growth. I know it feels uncomfortable, but if you're relating or resonating with what I'm saying in your life in some way, I love this space because the epiphanies and the understandings that come out of this, when you be like, you just have a moment where just, it's like a moment of revelation. You know what I mean? Especially when you have a private moment with the Most High, it's like you just all of a sudden get it. It's placed on your heart. So if you're feeling this, don't force it, because I feel like it's going to come through naturally for you. Can I have Capricorn, please? Let's keep it on the table. Thank you. Wow. High Priestess. I told you that growth, that connection in the High Priest. I cannot. Come on through here. Come on through here. This is, as you edify in your spirit, in your relationship with the Most High, in your understanding of life, your understanding of humanity, your understanding of purpose, your understanding of just being, I'm telling you, these revelations are like, oh. And that's what you're doing, Cap. You're elevating, you know, you're edifying. High Priestess is here. It literally says harness mystic power, because you start to understand where you fit into your authority, right? Your control. And then the High Priestess here with intentions and create, because now you can use that authority and control in your future endeavors and in your purpose, in your destiny, things like that. So the Mirror Guardian comes in because in that moment that you get that understanding, then you have reflection, because things start, it's like, just like the moment I just had, I shared with you about my mother. That was real. You know, she really did say that to me when I was younger. There is nothing new under the sun, nothing. Every time I talked about a new song or a new outfit or a new hairstyle or, you know, something that I felt was absolutely the bomb.com, you know what I mean? She would literally say that every time. And I just thought that was so horrible, because I would be excited and she would just like shoot it down. And to me at that time, there's nothing new under the sun, you know? But that reflection moment, once you have this understanding, it's going to start making sense. You'll start seeing patterns. You'll start understanding actions, other people. You'll start understanding ways of the world, basically, you know. And then when you see new things that you think are new, you'll see nothing new. You'll see familiar. And then when you see familiar, that changes now how you're moving. So be graceful in your movement and action. That means that there's no longer a need to rush. Take your time. There's no longer a need for anxiety. You can calm down. There's no longer that go, 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 go. Hurry up, hurry up. You got to be the best. You got to be on top. You got to be the richest. You got to be the prettiest. You got to be the skinniest. You got to be the whatever. You got to have the nicest car. You slow down on stuff like that. You really, really do. And you start moving in a way that's still fruitful and prosperous, but a lot more graceful. And you start to give grace, because you start to understand that your epiphany, your elevation, your edification and growth, when you see the lost, you look at the lost a different way. You know, there's a difference between the lost and the ones that choose the path of damnation, right? All right, let's get to your spread. Y'all coming in kind of, I don't know how to say this. This is serious stuff. I thought we was going to talk about some fun stuff. Y'all coming in, oh, I mean, just, you say I don't have time for that, Green Eyes. I'm doing different stuff now. I'm on a different page. I know that's right. I know that's right. Beautiful Capricorn energy. Man. And with your intensity and passion, operating under your authority and your true nature, Cap, you're going to see that you have so much more power, and there's so much more in your control than you actually think. That's the beauty of this. When you see actually what's in your control, things that you thought were out of your control, oh man. Woo! Can I have Caps? Okay, we don't do the floor. I put it on the table. Thank you. The Four Swords reverse, because you're no longer sleeping. See that? You're awake, fully aware. You're aware to the harm, aware of the possibilities. You're aware of, you're no longer allowing a false sense of comfort. You're not allowing that false sense of peace in your life, because you're going to now understand that it's within, right? 4 cups at the bottom of the deck, because it can seem a bit overwhelming, but it doesn't change. It's your awakening. Literally, she's peeking her head through this water, right? But see, this is what I was saying. You'll start to have grace for these people because they're still caught. They're still stuck, you know? And you're going to peek your head out of this level of understanding into a new level of understanding. And it might not feel good at first, but it is so worth it. It's so worth it, because you'll be able to maneuver your way through life in a different way. I'm so sorry, y'all. That is not supposed to be on. Hold on. Okay. All right. Crown this energy, please, for Capricorn. Please and thank you. The 10 of Cups is coming in sideways, which is literally bliss, fulfillment, happiness, joy, and it's in the middle of so much chaos. Look at that. Fulfillment, but it's in the middle. It's like you're gonna create it. You're gonna create it, and we're all being, I think, taught to understand or see things in a different way, so that we can understand that peace beyond understanding is within yourself. You know, you're going to look at things differently as far as what you should even, like I said, spend time investing on. Remember I said earlier, I said it's like that need for this and the need for that and the need for this. You'll start to see that it's all cuckoo, caca, pick one, you know? And you'll just handle things differently with the 2 of Pentacles, because your perspective is different. Hangman. You start looking through those divine eyes, processing with a divine mind, and stepping into your power and authority. Okay? What's working against Capricorn right now? Please and thank you. It's kind of like, how can I say this? Some of you are coming like a matrix. Like, what is it, Neo? You know, when Neo realized he was the one with the power, he could, you know, move different. But then by the time we went to new movies, like part 2, part 3, I don't know the names. But then he was flying, you know, because it's gonna get better after this. It gets better. What's working against the High Priestess and the Knight of Wands? All right, so what works against you? Hot and cold, not being consistent. I have to say that with the Knight of Wands. Let's talk about this High Priestess for a second, especially with this Hermit here. Just because you know, it doesn't mean that you do what you know. You know what I mean? Just because you know, it doesn't mean that you do what you know. Now, will that work against you? Absolutely. I am a perfect example of that. I know pizza don't like me. I think it's a setup. And for some reason, even when I was a kid, it has always been my favorite food. And it tears me up. And to this day, I will still have a slice sometimes, every now and again. And I'll just prepare to suffer. Now, people say they have cauliflower now. Now you can make your own with this. I don't want that. It's my choice. But I know, you know, but I'm messing around with it. Yeah, I don't exercise the wisdom. I'm not applying the knowledge. And that will work against you, Cap. Because basically, this is the beauty of being literally led to the water, you know, but you can't be forced to drink, right? So does that work against you? Yes, because it gives you a false, it's like a hot and cold, you know, a lukewarm how can I say that? A lukewarm spirit. I don't know how to explain that. It's either fire. It's either fire or it's lukewarm. And when it's lukewarm, it's not effective. It's like a prayer that goes to the ceiling but no further of your home. It's a lukewarm thing. I don't know how to explain that, because it affects your communication. It affects your abilities. It affects your balance with justice here. It affects all of that. And you wound up being kind of held back from, I guess, your highest self or your highest potential because of that in and out, in and out, in and out. And I could do this every now and again. I can have that every now and again. I know, but I could still do that sometimes. It really won't make a difference, you know? Where's this coming from for Capricorn? Please and thank you. The moon reverse. The great reveal. The moon hides things. The moon in reverse reveals. It's that awakening. Even on here, the moon, she's sleeping. It's coming in reverse. You're fully aware. You are fully aware. And it's important to know that awareness is not the end all be all. You still have purpose. It gives you awareness, but what you do with it, you know, that focus you get from it, now the power you have, the understanding that you have, it's up to you to go forward and redefine what now is new comfort, you know, new stability. What is abundance to you? Because there are some divine things happening out of all of our control, but we will not be left, I guess what you could say is like, what do you call it? Helpless. We're not going to be helpless with this divine action because of the deceit, you know? But it's up to you to apply it. Where are we going with this for Capricorn? I'm loving music in your energy also, Cap. I know that's completely off script, but I love music right now. I can think of 10 things I want to listen to. Future energy, we have Cancer with the Chariot. I have Aquarius with the Star. I have the King of Cups, emotional growth, emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, absolutely, and strength, Leo. Okay, so the thing about an awakening or an understanding, an epiphany, things like that, right? First, you know, you have to understand that you are still, like, how can I say that? You still have to deal with what's in you. You have to deal with what's around you. You have to deal with what's before you, what's behind you, what's a part of you. Pick one, it don't matter to me. Okay, there's many things in the world that keeps us, or that tries to constantly keep us from operating in our highest self. Okay, but our connection to the Creator is what allows us to have authority over those things. Not that they don't exist, but authority over these things. All right, so it's your connection to the Creator. Step into that divine feminine and speak authority, have authority and control over what's trying to keep you from operating at your highest self. With that understanding, with that authority for you, then you'll have to have emotional control for what's going on in the world with others, right? First you, then we'll address others. The King of Cups is the father of love. Make no mistake about it. He's full of love from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. But his emotions are in his control. He doesn't wear them on his sleeve. He can walk by the queen, his true love, and literally say, I don't know that heifer. If it's in a moment of intelligence, because of the intelligence. He will not overpour just for the sake of love. He gives in a fashion of deserving, you know? And sometimes that makes the king feel cold, you know, to the world. So Caps, you know, people may have even said to you during these times, you know, that you're a little feisty or a little mean or a little, you don't care. And that's not the case. It's just that you're starting to have an understanding of what's worth your nourishment and your emotions, or an emotional response from you. Now, star energy is awesome because this King of Cups energy sometimes is very weighing on an individual. It's kind of, sometimes it goes against what we've been taught, what humanity is, when you're starting to grow in spirit or understanding of life, of humanity, what it really is. So it's kind of like we're taught that, you know, we're all God's children and everyone helps another, and you know, be forgiving, you know, be kind, you know, and that's a godly way to live. But life has taught us that that is not completely the whole story. It's not that it's not true, but it's not the whole story, you know? So, are we all God's children? Are we all part of creation? Yes, that's absolutely true. But you and I both know that there are people here that choose not to follow the creator, or they choose not to even believe that there is a creator, you know, or they believe in other things that supersede the creator, you know. So star energy is a one-on-one with the creator, because when you become that, when you step into that King of Cups, again, it seems like a cold time, because it's like, man, I don't even see worthiness of my love. But the Most High is so perfect with us, that we have this one-on-one time. Star energy is personal. Star energy is so personal. It's being on stage. It's the spotlight is on you. It's the Most High is in the front row. You know, you're not like one of those kids in school looking for their parents and, well, is mom here? Is dad here? No. The Most High is in the front row saying, baby, I'm right here. Let me see you do your thing. You know, and that comfort, that acknowledgement is, it's just, there's no words for it. That's why Aquariuses live their own life. They're so independent in how they live, because coming through that portal of the star is just, it's like no other. It's like no other. But this is where you start to really kind of understand that this is between me and God, right? I gotta live here, but this is between me and God. And with that comfort, with that strength, with that validation and acknowledgement, now here comes your Uber to take you to your next destination, your next season, your next chapter, or to your assignment. And you're going to make the move and make that jump. Two of Wands. You're going to do it. You're going to say, oh, my Uber's here. I got to go. Okay. This is how you're going to close out this cycle, because again, it's time for you to start new, but you're going to start at an elevated level. Okay. So you are getting ready to go through a great change if you're not already experiencing this. And it may seem a little overwhelming. Breathe. It may affect you physically, headaches, your equilibrium might be off, your digestion might be off, you might have some sleepless nights. Breathe. Water helps. You're an earth sign, maybe getting outside would help you. Everybody has their own thing that kind of gets them back together. Basically, what you're experiencing is like the dizziness of coming from, I guess, a dark house. We've all had that, right? You're coming out of a dark house, and then you open the door and the sun is so bright and you got to regroup to kind of get it together. That's what this is. Nine of Swords to the sun, right? So the sun, yes, happy, feels good, good times, but understand it's aware. The sun is aware. It's a whimsical energy. That the light bulb is on. It's a 100-watt light bulb. Now you can see all the places that you wasn't cleaning. Hello. So what happens? You start to get to work. You start small, Page of Wands, because now there's a new structure of your foundation, Ten of Pentacles. Your family, what's real to you, what's concrete to you, what you stand on, you know, what you anchor to. Also, abundant times, every area of your life is going to increase, all right, with that Ten of Pentacles. Look at you, looking fabulous. There you go, Cap, devil energy. Because you're simply growing, you're edifying, you're connecting, and you're going to start now utilizing that gift, utilizing that connection, utilizing that understanding and that growth to start now bringing forth things to you, as opposed to you being due diligent and going after everything. Because that intensity of Capricorn, it just it grabs you sometime. You know, when people try to use your energy, I tell them, look, Capricorn, you can't play with Cap. It'll mess you up. It's too strong. You guys are the only one that can handle that intensity. But now you'll start to understand the intensity of bringing forward, because the Empress, you know, she has the portal of light, embodying the queens, right? Abundant, intuitive, and fertile. She births life-changing events. She births them out of her. It's what's within you that you're going to start to master. And then you're simply going to wait for it to show up, just because you already know. It's that connection. When you know who you are, what you're worth, what you're connected to, you just simply do your part, and you expect it to be there, you know, when it's time for it to come. That's what you focus on. It's a whole new life experience. It's a whole new life view, you know? All right, I'm gonna leave this one here. Whew, Caps, I hope it helps. If any event you say, Green Eyes, I don't even know what this was. This is not tarot. You're right. This is so much more. I thank God for you, though, because I don't want to be just tarot at all, you know? But check your moon, check your rising. If it's not for you, leave it here, you know? Leave it for someone else. Thumbs up, subscribe. Make sure you're notified of future readings. It's free, and it supports the channel. If any event you're looking for a personal appointment, I respond to email requests only. My email is perfectlyimperfecttarot@gmail.com. If you do like what you get here, if it helps you, feeds you, even if you're simply entertained, but you come looking for these videos, please sow where you come to eat. I eat off of what you sow, okay? A cup of coffee, all right? Donation information is below the video. There's also links for CashApp and PayPal for your convenience. And in advance, I thank you. Other than that, remember, we are all perfectly imperfect. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.